Hey everybody, CJ here. Welcome to another Marvel Snap video where we're going over a Galactus deck. The latest set of cards just dropped in the last week, and I was lucky enough to get Galactus in my collector token store. So I bought up Galactus and tried playing Galactus. I tried playing Galactus quite a lot, and some of the issues I saw were that when you get Galactus down, it can be easily telegraphed, but also a lot of decks were using high-powered cards to like slam into that last lane, and every time I was doing that, I was just losing to Shang Chi's and everything. So I had this idea to change the deck up just a little bit, do some slightly different things, see what we can do with it. The main different thing I've been doing is I've added Spiderwoman to the deck. The reason I've added Spiderwoman to the deck is because you're down to one lane, you know you're going to hit all their cards, and Spiderwoman, despite being a 7 power, can give you a swing of about 11, because their side of the board is going to go down by 4 maximum, and you're going to add 7 to the board. It can be a really good turn 6 play. If you've managed to get your hood out as well, your demon on turn 6 is a really good play as well. You know, you're slamming down 13 worth of stats right there before you're even debuffing your opponent, so that's good. Also, pushing goblins into the lane. Pushing goblins into the lane is really handy. And the other thing I was coming up against was Odin. Before I didn't have Wolverine in the deck, and one thing that I was getting punished for was leaving 1 or 2 spaces kind of in the 1 or 2 spaces on the board that were, you know, free for an Odin to send stuff back, because there's not many 1, 2 or 3 drops. And that's also why I've added Ant-Man as well. Just going to give us an extra 4 power if we've filled the lane. Spider-Man's here to lock up a lane. You know, we slam down. We get the dream of wave into Galactus. Galactus slams down, destroys the board. Turn 5, that's when we drop our Spider-Man. And if we've got the room, we could drop either our Ant-Man or our Hood's Demon. So then for turn 6, we've got the room to play Spider-Woman as well, and I imagine if you've locked up the lane and you're dropping 13 worth of stats and putting them down by a few, you're going to win. Other conditions to get to Galactus a little bit earlier: you've got Psylocke, you've got Electro. Psylocke, you get the buff, you get the extra energy for 1 turn, which is quite handy. Electro, you get the extra energy for the rest of the game, and then you can get 7 energy on your 6th turn if you end up blowing them up with Galactus, and you can play multiple cards. I'd say the downside is in games where Galactus doesn't show up, Electro can become quite a hindrance, because you're now, you know, usually you'd want to splash down 2 cards, especially one being the Hood Demon, but you just can't do it because you can only play 1 card. So the only other thing I thought of was to slam Leader in the deck, because Leader is very good in the lanes where you already have the lead, because you're just going to stack whatever they've stacked on you. Of course, they could play some cards that are going to mess you up, but you never know. If you don't see this, even if you're ending the game and they drop a Shang Chi on turn 6, if you drop the leader, you know it's not going to, you know, Shang Chi's not going to kill your leader, and then you're going to drop an extra 3 stats on the board as well. So I think it's a pretty good time. Anyway, we're going to do some games with this deck. We're going to see how it goes. But before I get to that, I just want to thank everyone who's been watching the kind of shorts and videos recently. I really appreciate it. I've started to get comments on them, starting to get a bit of engagement, and also just it's been a lot of fun, and I want to try and do more content like this as well, to go over some of the cards that I've been lucky enough to get and play around with. But I really appreciate it. We recently reached 200 subscribers, which I know for a lot of channels isn't a lot, but for me that is something I've not achieved in ages, so thank you so much, and let's go and play some games. Okay, so for this game we've started off with nothing that we can play in hand. However, I already see Hobgoblin going into Shuri's lab and having a fun time. This is also going to help. I feel like this could potentially be, Shuri's lab could potentially be the Galactus turn. We'll be able to play Hobgoblin on 4, Galactus on 5, and then Leader on 6. We may want to hold off on Hobgoblin in the lane just now, though, because... oh, we're going to get a couple of demons as well. Just because they're going to carnage that lane. They're going to carnage that lane, which isn't going to be good. We may pivot. I may pivot already to... I may already pivot to maybe doing it in the super flow. We'll see. We'll see when the carnage comes down. If the carnage comes down this turn, which it hasn't, and we know the real Mysterio is going to be in one of these two lanes, I feel like we do. We drop the Galactus here. That's going to disrupt. That's going to disrupt their Carnage play, which I imagine is coming down into Shuri's lap this time. Then we're combating a fake. We're combating either a fake Mysterio or a real Mysterio. No, in fact, Hulkbuster's going there. That's an interesting play. But we're going to blow up the lane with Galactus. So this could be a big 8-powered... this could be a big 8-powered Mysterio here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to drop Ant-Man. No. I'm just going to drop Hobgoblin. I'm going to hopefully reduce their lot by 8. Hopefully they play 2 cards here. I might even snap now to see how this goes. Hopefully they drop 3 cards in here. They've got initiative, so even if they do drop the Carnage or something, they're going to go second, so Hobgoblin stays alive. Interesting. They've played Wave. They've played Wave there, so I feel like we should probably just play Leader, match what card they're going to play, and see what happens. So we've matched their death, and we've won there. That was good. That was a nice clean. That was a nice clean game there. A nice early victory. I think the Leader was definitely a good play there. We definitely got lucky with the Super Flow to start playing Galactus and things early, but that was a pretty solid game. Didn't get to do any of the debuff stuff, but the Leader play in the deck definitely came out clutch. If I had played Spider-Woman, they'd still be on 15. They'd be on 15. We'd be on 10, taking away 4, so they would have won by 1. So yeah, the Leader play was definitely the correct play for that turn. But we got really lucky with the Hobgoblin. Anyway, we'll move on to the next game now. Okay, Necrotia. Always a good start. Always a good start with goblins on the board as well. Because they're just going to depower the opponent even more, which is always great. So what we'll do is we'll pop our Wolverine on the board. And then if we get Galactus, the wave comes down. If we don't get Galactus, then Green Goblin goes into Necrotia. Right, Green Goblin and then Necrotia. And then we'll play Psylocke next turn. Though we do kind of want... Right, we'll play Psylocke down here. And then if we get Galactus, fantastic. So they're going to steal either a Hobgoblin or a Spider-Woman. That's Leader. Interesting play. We're going to slam Hobgoblin down. And then we'll see what ends up in Necrotia. We might lock up... We could end up locking up Necrotia with them on negative power. That would be quite handy. However, if the Nightcrawler goes in, they will be able to swap Nightcrawler out, which may sting a little. So let's see, they've already popped Nightcrawler over. That's fantastic. They've hopped Nightcrawler over. They've locked up the lane, so nothing's going to move. And we're ahead. I think this is a Galactus play, though. I'm sure this is a Galactus play. We just dumped the Galactus in Necrotia. The Goblins. Yep, the Heralds. The Heralds of Galactus. The Hob and the Green Goblin come down. Everything on the board's going to get taken out. Wolverine's going to hop over and give us another extra 1 power. So we are going to win that lane by about 17, which is fantastic. I feel like for a lane like Necrotia, people tend to not play in it at all. And by the time you've dropped your Hobgoblin and your Green Goblin in there, they've already pretty much lost the game if you've got a Galactus. I know I did top deck Galactus there. It's a slightly different win condition, but once they're down by that much, like they're 15 down on a location like that, you know, they can't drop a Hulk to help them. They can't drop a Magneto to help them. They can't drop, you know, if you've got initiative, if you've not got initiative, they could drop Magneto and they could get something in the lane to disrupt you. But generally, like, unless they've not played anything turn 5 and they drop the Infinite on you, you're in a pretty good position. Anyway, that was another pretty fantastic game. Okay, let's carry on. Baxter building. That's Playerhood. Let's play our Wolverine, so when Galactus kills it, it gets massive. That's what we'll do. See, that's a big 6 power Wolverine. It's going to swing right into the Galactus lane when we get Galactus. Oh my goodness. What we got here? Turn 4 mana. Let's do Green Goblin. Would have been really nice to get. Him earlier. So they now know that we're playing Galactus. They now know what's up. The jig is up. The jig is up. We are going to dump Galactus next turn. Is that going to start them dumping stuff in Baxter Building Lane? Probably. I'm going to snap anyway. I'm going to snap because we're going to get the Galactus and the Spider-Woman and the Demon off in the next 2 turns. And I think that's going to be a big strong play. So let's snap now. Let's see how they play. Unless they've got a Goblin there, which they might have. They might send a Goblin over to us. That's a Sentinel. That's a Fentanyl Sentinel. And that is... that's a Cable. Okay, so they're stealing cards, but that's fine. That's fine. I mean, they may steal a Hobgoblin. They've not stolen Hobgoblin, so they don't have the advantage. So we're going to send Galactus. And they may have a Hobgoblin of their own. They play Devil Dino. Interesting. So we're going to be winning this lane by a fair bit. They could still play a big card, however they are going to go down by 3. And then we've got our Demon as well. So I think we're in a strong situation. I don't know if they'll play this out or not. I'm going to click snap in the hope that it manifests a snap from them. But I think they'll probably retreat. No, they've not retreated. Wonder what they've got. Makes them think they're going to win this. Shang Chi. And this is why I play the deck like this. This is why I play the deck like this. Because they're sitting there. Shang-Chi wouldn't have even worked. Or maybe they were maybe playing for the tie. Shang-Chi would have got... no, they would have won with Shang-Chi because I debuffed the board. So, yeah, they were expecting a Magneto, a Hulk, something big like that. And that's one of the big sort of counters to the deck. Would have been up even if they played Cosmo or anything. But the main reason that I've swapped out the big powerful characters for Spider-Woman is to avoid that situation, because it's happened so many times. Anyway, as a proof of concept to end the video, that's what we'll end it. We'll end the video on this match. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. I really appreciate it. Please keep watching the shorts. Give me likes, any comments for content as well, be greatly appreciated. But really, thank you all so much for tuning in, getting us over 200 subscribers, and we'll see where this goes from here. Once again, thank you very much.